Welcome back to another Draco reaction vlogs, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on the notifications on the channel. So after all the past couple of days of speculation regarding Ange Postecoglu's future at Tottenham, my club, it turns out that today he was sacked from the club, and now that our club doesn't have a manager going to the next season, I do want to give some thoughts about that. Because yes, during my past videos when he was in charge for his last season, even when we were keeping up losses, I still wanted him gone because, of course, losing this is basically taking our club, which is supposed to be a big club, into a relegation zone. And of course, any team that's in relegation zone will probably sack their manager and get an interim or replacement. But and stayed, and then he delivered on his promise of getting a European trophy. Now, honestly, I think I'm not surprised that he was sacked, as well as, I guess, the speculations regarding where he's going to stay for another third season. I guess the season three that he was teasing in the Spurs parade didn't come true at all. I guess a new manager will take over from then. But I also want to give some pros of why I think the sack I was not surprised he gets sacked, and why I guess I argue that it's probably the wrong time to sack him. So when he was sacked today, of course the league's already done. We've won our European Cups, or the first trophy in 17 years, and even though he was losing 22 games this season and taking us from fifth in his first season all the way down to 17th in the recent season, I guess if we've lost the Europa League, I would have just sacked. Would have been fine sacking him. Probably not keeping him for a Brighton game, or maybe just wait until after a Brighton game to sack him. But he kept his promise of delivering a trophy every second season, and he delivered a trophy for our club. So I'm pretty proud. I'm pretty grateful that he delivered our trophy for our club, because past managers that came and go to our club have gotten no silverware, even though we've seen one of the greatest managers such as Mourinho and Conte come to our club. Now the issue is, I think our replacement manager is supposed to be Thomas Frank from Brentford, and considering he's been doing him and Brentford aren't that bad. He's been getting Brentford into good form. Not sure. I don't know if he's going to be a perfect fit for us or a good fit, because, like I said, that manager hasn't won anything yet besides getting Brentford promoted to the Premier League back in 2021. So if we get him, it's going to be like a big gamble, because he has to at least deliver a trophy this season. We're in 5 trophy competitions because of the UEFA Super Cup against PSG. So, not sure if Thomas Frank will be the right manager to succeed Ange, but we'll have to see what's going to happen between our club's board and discussing of which manager is going to come in. I still want the board to go, because even if we get the best managers in, the board isn't going to have the ambition to back the manager to get the players to get us over the line and deliver at least one trophy this season. That's my biggest concern. I think we're going back to the same cycle when after 5 years of Pochettino, we were just sacking managers every 1 or 2 seasons because the owner never backs the manager, and the manager gets the not so good players, because all we just want to do is compete, if you know what I'm saying. This not just push up to get us over a line to deliver us a trophy. So that's my concern. And if it's Ange's go, which is sacked, the board should go as well as the ownership. Because like I said in earlier videos, our ownership isn't going to take us anywhere. We just want a trophy, which is ironically. But I don't know how long we're going to wait after we just won the Europa League trophy to wait for any trophy of this kind, whether it's a Carabao Cup, a Champions League trophy, a Premier League, or FA Cup, or even the Super Cup if we get one quickly. So that's going to be my concern going into next season. Or just going forward, I guess. Because if you think about it, um, all the owner cares about is just making money. Like I said in my previous videos, it's money first and club second. So if it's going to be an never-ending cycle of our history, changing, like Conte said in his last press conference when he managed us, they can change the manager as many times as they want, but they can never change the situation. Is it the manager's fault that they got this club into this situation, or is it the owner's fault? That's what Conte said. And now that Ange is officially gone from our club, and he brought us a trophy in this case, I said build him a statue, of course, because as terrible as our league form was under his tenure, he got us a trophy, and that's what most managers couldn't do in their past seasons with us. So at least Bill Lieborg, honestly, I wish I wanted him to stay because like I said, yes, he finished 17th, but after we got the trophy, I think we could use that Champions League money that we just go out from winning the Europa League to invest in our squad, to patch up the holes in our squad that we were facing ever since that 2019 Champions League finals. There's still holes in our squad. There's still gaps. There's still deficits in our squad that we as a club did not address in the past transfer windows. We always never put out bids for the best players. We always put out bids for players that are just okay or just average, that just like competing and not just getting a trophy or getting an honor. I don't want players that can get them top spots, not even thinking about competing to win a Premier League trophy. Just such as the likes of Man City, Liverpool. Well, after Ange is gone, I think my prime manager, I think there's some managers I want, such as Inzaghi, Conceição, but Inzaghi left Inter and he's probably going to Al Hilal. I think that deal's already finalized, as well as some other top managers that we could have gotten if we didn't pick Ange, but like I said, they already signed new deals or have extended their contracts with the club. We do have Conceição. I think he's one of. I know he didn't do well at Milan, even though in 2 games he won a trophy. But I think he can, ironically, get us back running, I guess, in terms of form. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how the next manager is going to come in to, I guess, to start rebuilding the squad to make sure this team can get us over the line eventually, and also eventually not drag us into a relegation battle. Because if the next manager comes and gets the same treatment as the previous managers, then what's really the point bringing in world-class managers if they're not going to get backed by owner? So I just want the owner out, I guess, in this case, because it's going to be a never-ending loop. That is a concern that hasn't been addressed going forward. But we'll see what happens. The transfer window is still open, and like I said, since transfer window is open, I'm not seeing my club make any bids. I see my club being linked to players such as Eze and other top players or attackers. Heard that we were planning to sign Tell, but for like 50 million euros. But based on his performance of this season, I think he's woeful. I don't think he's worth that much. 20 million or maybe less is best. And that's just me being nice in this case. Like I said, whoever manager comes in, first he needs to be the ownership needs to change and back the manager, because if the ownership isn't going, which the ownership would never let go of the club, because they just like to use it as a cash flow, as their bank. You used to have that Champions League money. Use the money that you got to back the next manager, so you can get players that can get him over the line and get this team over the line this season. Because I don't want to wait till I'm 40, till I'm over 40, to win the Champions League. or just not to win a Champions League, just to see another trophy come to my club. I want some changes now, and like I said, going forward next season, we're going to see how next season goes. And if that next manager who comes in is going to be sacked, because I know it's going to be the same process if the next manager doesn't get what he wants and doesn't get backing from our board and ownership. It's just going to be the same progress over and over again. But that's just my spiel about it, and that's how I feel. As for Ange Postecogolu, thank you, Ange, for giving us the trophy. Like I said, mentioned earlier in this video. Thank you for giving us the trophy, even though I didn't like you when we were starting dropping points and accumulating more losses this season than we win wins this season. But thank you for giving us the trophy. Thank you for ending our trophy drought and helping our club right out of a rocky storm. As for whoever manager comes in, my message is make sure the board backs you, because if the board doesn't back you, there's really no. We're gonna be stuck in the same cycle again of I want this manager out because of the player, because we're not playing well and stuff. I think I can see how it goes. We're gonna have a nice winning streak, and then when it all comes crashing down, we're gonna demand that manager's head because of our ownership who refuses to move. I just want to say to ownership, whoever manager you appoint, just back the manager, give him the resources that the manager needs to improve the holes in our squad. Because if you don't do that, the manager is going to go in sometime in the future, and we're going to have to start over from square one again. That's just my feeling about this situation. But big up to everyone that's watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and thumbs up on the channel. I'm out.